Facebook had one of its worst weeks in history. Someone inside the company secretly copied 10,000 pages of internal research that proved Facebook makes us angry.
It's easier to inspire people to anger than it is to other emotions.
Oh, so that's why Facebook only shows Aunt Ellen when she's being racist. And of course, Congress is still figuring out how Facebook works.
Will you commit to ending Finsta?
The congressman says Finsta like it's a terrorist organization. FYI, Finsta is where people tell the truth. This is Insta, this is Finsta. Insta, Finsta. Insta, Finsta. Then, right after that interview, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp shut down, Zuckerberg lost $6 billion, and for a short moment, no one was angry. So, David, Facebook got caught selling addictive products that they knew were harmful for kids, but they kept doing it.
Compared the company to big tobacco.
Facebook having its own big tobacco moment.
Big tech now faces that big tobacco.
Facebook to big tobacco.
Is this Facebook's big tobacco moment?
Again, I'll use the word bullshit, right? Like, again, I think everybody kind of already knew this, and it's nice to have like a tangible thing that we can, like a report that we can point to, but I don't think we necessarily needed it. And unfortunately, because of a lot of bullshit, I don't think it's necessarily going to change anything, at least not immediately, right? I mean, it is the tobacco moment, but that tobacco moment took, 20 plus years and a generation before it started to happen. And only now, right? Only in the last probably 15 years do you see smoking numbers going down, right?
Facebook's kind of rotten to its core. Like, it's not like there are, some issues that they need to clean up. I think it's apt to talk about it being like tobacco, being like the fossil fuel companies, and that it's simply, its existence is sort of untenable with a healthy society. I don't see how it's fixable at this point. Like, it's hard to understand because it was growth at all costs. And by connecting humanity, they either had this blinkered view of like the implications of that being all good or almost overwhelmingly good, or they just like ignored it. And like, we're finding evidence that they were just ignoring all the bad parts, stuff like genocide and things like that. But it doesn't change the simple fact that the way Facebook is constructed right now, it's untenable as a company in healthy societies. I don't see how at this point it's even a debate.
There's a big push, right, to have like Facebook regulated right now. So like different factions in the political system in the US are like trying to regulate. So both on the right and the left, right?
I was gonna say, I think that's actually a bipartisan thing. I think it's one of the few things that you can actually find agreement on. Just the idea that the country would do something together, I love that idea, no matter what it is.
I mean, the world. Like, Facebook is without a lot of friends right now. And like, I understand money, and they got like thousands of lobbyists and stuff like this. But like, at this point, like, it's really hard to find people who are not paid by Facebook defending Facebook. And so what does a safe Facebook look like?
Like cigarettes, you could, this report specifically was about young women, young girls, young people. You can prevent Facebook 18 and older. You could do, 21 and older. You could do 16 and older. You think any of that is something that could be something that the country gets around that might help prevent the damage?
It's hard to understand maybe what society, like the societal views of tobacco, what that went through. Like, because I was, I'm young enough to remember when there was smoking sections in restaurants in California and things like that. But smoking
in airplanes, there used to be like
smoking. It was just there, right? Like nobody second guessed it.
Lobbying effort,
Yeah, and even when they did start second guessing it, there were probably a lot of people like, go fuck you, right? Like, it's just me. I'm just smoking myself. What do you? It doesn't, And I don't know what that looks like, what that societal transition looks like of accepting something everywhere on airplanes to all of society now. Like, smokers now have like a little corner that they're allowed to go to. So I don't know what that looks like, but has to happen somehow.
I loved how on smoking on airplanes, it was like row 30 and back, it's fine to smoke at. It's like if you're in 29, you can't smoke. But I guess what I wonder is like whether the implementation can be fixed at all, or if the positives of connecting the world actually do outweigh the negatives, the externalities, because the more time goes by, it seems like there's more negative being created than positive from a societal level. Facebook's an amazing advertising engine. Like they're amazing. They're really good at advertising. Like I go on Instagram. I admit I'm in Instagram. I don't use the blue app, but like their ads are by far the best like ad experience of any place. It's amazing to me. So it's not without like,
and it only
its
costs us
value.
1 or 2
And
genocides.
yeah, no, small business, democracy. I don't know, like DTC. We got to sacrifice for all of these like DTC brands.
The other issue too is like, how would you regulate it, right? I mean, it's like the proposals out there now. We're talking about regulating it as a utility, which is really dicey. It touches on like several like civil liberty issues, right? But also like, it could be a game of whack-a-mole, right? Facebook's a bit unique because they've really just survived everything, right? They're like the cockroach that just doesn't die, right? Like they've survived whereas most media platforms have their 5-6 years of fame and then they kind of wither out, right? So
they've also bought up everything that threatened them. Like,
without
I mean,
any
Instagram
antitrust
at one
issues.
point, Instagram at one point was threatening them, and they're just like, we'll make you an offer you can't refuse.
I don't want the government trying to like, go in and do surgery. They should just break the whole freaking thing up because government, it was like last time, it was like, what is Jeff Sessions going to take apart Facebook? I mean, we're a little bit better with Merrick Garland, but I still don't want him taking apart Facebook.
So what you guys are saying is we just need to redefine the rules, man.